The world is full of people who have songs on their heart, music that they want to share, but are paralyzed by fear and perfectionism and often don't release the music that they have inside of them. In this video, I am going to talk about why you must become comfortable with imperfection in your music in order to make it to become the artist that you dream of becoming. 3 tips. Tip number 1 is that nobody is perfect. We all struggle with imperfection. We all put on a mask, showing others that we are perfect, that we are someone that we're not, in order to feel more accepted, more loved, in order to fit in with the crowd. And this is okay. We do this to protect ourselves. We are messy. When you start out with a new hobby, if there's a new hobby, a new thing that you're trying to learn, you start out sucking, and that's okay. It's where everyone starts. For me, I did not grow up in a very musical family. I took guitar lessons, but that was basically it. I didn't grow up in theater. I didn't grow up with a family whose, parents that were singing or doing music around me. And so my journey has been one that has been kind of lonely at times. I felt like I've had to work my way through and teach myself a lot of the skills that I'm sharing. Definitely had help from friends and people, but yeah, I started out sucking at guitar. I started out with a bad vocal range and voice, and I'm still growing. I'm still working on it. I've had voice cracks during vocal sessions that have been embarrassing. My voice hasn't always sounded perfect. It still doesn't, and that's okay. It's part of what makes us human, and it's part of the process. For a while, I would make a mistake, and then I would try to cover it up, try to ignore it, pretend that it didn't happen, instead of just sitting with the imperfection and realizing that it's okay, and it's part of the process of learning. Pretending to be perfect at something is lying to yourself, and it's lying to other people about what the process really is. We're all human. We all start out with these imperfections and flaws that we can't hide, that we cover up, we try to hide them. And the truth is, we need to be comfortable with these imperfections as we go along the journey, because these are how we learn. Confidently owned imperfection is also what connects us to other human beings. When people see you mess up, make a mistake, if you try to pretend like it didn't happen, try to act like it's not there, people know that. What really connects with other people is when you make a mistake and you go, oh man, oof, that sounded bad. And you just acknowledge it and let it sit. People will connect with you. People will understand because they know that nobody is perfect. It's honestly a beautiful part of art that we don't embrace, we don't accept as often because we think that we need to be perfect. We think we need to have it all together before we even arrive. Tip number 2, our fear of imperfection and our fear of sharing our work limits us, but it can also be a guide. Fear of what others think about our work, fear that it's not good enough, it leads to paralysis. It leads to rumination over scrutinizing over the details of what I can get perfect, what I can get better, and a lot of times it leads to us being stuck. So if you're familiar with internal family systems therapy, this will probably make sense to you. If not, keep listening, I'll explain it. But in internal family systems, we view different emotions, we view these as parts. And a lot of times our fear is just a part of ourselves that is trying to protect us from feeling something deeper. And often this feeling is shame. So we'll have fear that keeps us from feeling the shame of not being good enough. Shame being, if I release my music, then others are gonna see that it's imperfect. They're gonna look at me and tell me that it's bad, that I am bad, and that my music is bad. And so we associate our identity with the quality of music that we release. When we have this fear that's covering up our shame, the fear will often sound like, oh, just, play it safe, don't release your music, you don't need to do this, it's scary, and we'll feel it in our body. Like for me, I'll feel this like pulsing anxiety in my chest and in my arms, and I can only think about the things that are going to go wrong or the things that might be bad with releasing my music or my YouTube videos or my creative work. And so we don't want others to tell us that we're bad, so we don't release our music. When in reality, we need to learn to separate our identity from the music that we create. And this is really, really difficult because music and songwriting and self-expression is so vulnerable and close to your heart that the fear is often extremely loud. It's very loud. But if you're able to separate your identity from your work, then you can really have power over your fear, and it'll lead to you releasing a lot of work that you originally wouldn't have released. And so in order to work with this fear, and in order to kind of work through it, you must understand that your identity is deeper than just the music that you produce. Yes, the music, the creation, the expression is part of your identity, but the music and the work that you produce, while it will be imperfect, it is not your full identity. It's an expression of who you are, but it is not who you are. See fear as a guide. This is how I want you to see it. Fear is just a portal to experiencing a version of yourself that does not experience that fear in that situation. So, for example, if I were to sit down and write songs, or if I were to go on stage and perform at an open mic, and I start to feel this fear, I would acknowledge it, notice that it's present, notice that it's trying to protect me from judgment or criticism of others, and I would allow it to be. I wouldn't obey it, I wouldn't totally listen to it, but I would acknowledge its presence, and I wouldn't try to make it go away. I would ask the fear to soften. I would ask it to allow me to do the things that I'm trying to do, like go perform or go write. And I would remind it that I'm loved, I'm accepted, even if I fail. Even if my music isn't received well by others, even if it comes out imperfect, not the way that I wanted it to go, I am still loved. I am still accepted, and I still belong. After I do this internal process, sort of reminding myself of who I am, reminding myself that I have works to share with other people, that others will connect with the music that I'm sharing, then I simply just go on stage, I perform, and I try to crush it. Or I sit down, I try to write the song as best I can, and I do the best work that I can do with the tools that I have. More likely than not, when you go on stage to perform, or when you share a song with somebody else that you've written, people are going to respond to it with praise, with acceptance, with love. People see the work that you're doing. They see the vulnerability that you are stepping into as an artist, as someone who's creative, and they will applaud that. It's very, very rare that people will boo you or say that you're not good enough. Like, these are just very harsh things that most people won't do. Most people aren't going to say that to you. More often than not, probably like 99.9% of the time, you are going to be accepted for your music and for your art. And so I want to encourage you to just, even when you feel this fear that is protecting you from believing the lie that you're not good enough, even when you feel this, you should still go and you should perform and you should do the best that you can. And when you do this, you are often going to find that people will accept you for the music. People will genuinely give you good feedback on your music. They may or may not like it. You know, music is very subjective, so do not put much thought into whether or not people like your music. It's important that you are there for yourself, that you like the work that you're producing, that you're creating, that you're releasing, and that you are with yourself and supporting yourself in this journey. And so when you have one of these experiences where you share a song and people receive it well, that's just more information for your brain and for your body to understand that, oh, it's safe to do this. And over time, as you step out and produce and perform more, your body's going to recognize that hey, this is okay. Like, people generally accept me, even if they don't love my music. Like, I'm still alive, I still survive, I'm able to do this. So tip number 2 is fear can often limit us, but when we see it as our guide, then it works with us and for us. Tip number 3 is to create your work to the best of your ability and then release it. Understand that it might be imperfect. There might be people who don't resonate with your songs, they might not like them, and that's okay. Create your work and release it. Instead of sitting in perfectionism and rumination over what we can make perfect, create your work, release it, and move on. A lot of times we will see in the past, or looking back on our music that we release, different ways that, it could be better, ways that it sounds amazing, where we're really proud of it. And we just have a better clarity after we release music, share it, sit on it for a little bit, move on to other projects, work on different things. You build this library and repertoire of music that you can look at and objectively see, instead of being trapped in the emotions of, oh, is this good enough? Is this good? Is this bad? Like, how are people going to receive this? We can look at it more sober-mindedly when we look back on it. And have a short memory in your music. When you're performing, if you make a mistake, just acknowledge it, be like, oh, that didn't sound great, and then move on. Learn from your mistakes. Don't sit in shame. Acknowledge the shame. Acknowledge, like, oh, it doesn't feel great, to make a mistake, but acknowledge it and just move through it. Have a short memory. Don't ignore the shame. Like, if you feel shame for making a mistake, don't just be like, whatever, that wasn't a mistake. Don't lie to yourself. A lot of times it's, an indicator of somewhere where you can improve. And importantly, remind yourself that you're human. You make mistakes. You have value even in your imperfection. So to summarize, I just want you to go out and release your imperfect music, share it with people, get feedback on it. You don't have to go record a really bad song that you're not proud of and then go post it everywhere, but do the work that that is on your heart to do, and release it and get feedback on it. And this is how you grow. This is how you get from point A to point B. If you're starting out as an artist or a songwriter, you're gonna write bad songs. I think it was Ed Sheeran that talked about it like a faucet, like a dirty faucet. Yeah, that's what it was. You gotta just turn it on, let all the junk kind of come out. There's gonna be good songs, bad songs mixed together, good parts of a song that are mixed with really bad parts of a song that just don't sound good. You just gotta release it and let it all out. And over time, that faucet of water is gonna eventually become clean. After all the dirty junk gets out, you're gonna have a much more clean flow of water. In this case, it's your songs. It's gonna be, more often than not, you're gonna write stuff that you're like, oh, I'm actually really proud of this. I really like this song. And yeah, so my tip to you, my encouragement to you, is to write music with all your heart. Work on it, do it well with the tools that you have, but don't sit on it, don't ruminate on it, don't spend far too long just trying to get it to be perfect. There's gonna be imperfections, and that's okay. That's what makes it human. That's what makes art beautiful, is that we are imperfect people, but we can create some really beautiful works of art. So in your songwriting journey, in your musical journey, keep going, be encouraged, be encouraged that you have what it takes, and all you need to do is just befriend this imperfection, sit down and do it imperfectly, but just do it. Write your music, record your songs, do the next step, the thing that's on your heart to do, and this world is going to become a more beautiful place because of that. So, thanks for watching, appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.